you're watching Crimson Corner on KSL.com.
Welcome to the Crimson Corner, and thanks to the legend Steve Smith for getting us started off right. The Utah football team scrimmaged for the third time on Saturday. They ran about 80 plays in this scrimmage. And this play right here kind of sums up the day for the pass game. Oh, so close, but a little out of sync. The run game was a different story. The defense couldn't handle the truth. Carl "The Truth" Williams, the former Layton High star, continues to impress in the Ute backfield. More problems, though, on offense. A bad snap. Schultz can't handle it. And that's not what you want to see in a scrimmage. Kelvin York back in action this week. After missing most of spring with an injury, he was productive. 7 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Here's the only touchdown pass of the scrimmage. Travis Wilson showing his mobility, throws a strike to Sean Fitzgerald. Again, the defense great against the pass. Good play from the linebackers. LT Filianga knocks down a pass. Then Jared Norris does even better. He intercepts a Schultz pass. Defense winning the day. This is a 2-point conversion, but it was so pretty we had to show you. Wilson to Scott. Kenneth Scott. And we have to finish with the truth. Williams with another score. Great story. The former walk-on is making noise in the Ute backfield. The quarterbacks with a subpar day. Wilson was 10 of 21, 71 yards and a touchdown and interception. Schultz was 7 of 11 for 50 yards and a pick. Carl Williams, the star of the scrimmage, 10 carries for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Sean Fitzgerald, as we show you, caught the only touchdown of the day.
There's a lot of good things, but not as productive offensively as we need to be. There was some plays there to be made that we didn't make, and reverted back a little bit to some self-destructive moments where we had a drive going and we snap a ball over the head or drop a pass or do something to kill the drive. And so I think we're very, very close offensively to being very good, but we got to get over that hump.
I could have played way better than I did. I made a couple of mistakes, so that's something I need to work on, and it's something I need to get better at too. So
ran the ball effectively today. That was a big positive, is the effectiveness of the run game.
How was the running game today? What do you think about it?
The running game was real good. You know, I wish we had Quinn Pedroza in the backfield carrying it. But other than that, Carl "The Truth" Williams was really toting the rock really well. Lucky Radley and everybody with the nickname on the team basically ran the ball. You got Bubba, you got The Truth, you got Lucky. It was pretty good.
Bright spot. Carl, in fact, all the running backs, Bubba Poole and Lucky Radley had some nice runs. Carl, might have been the leading rusher in the scrimmage, and then Kelvin York did a nice job as well. It's good to see Kelvin back out here, but as far as Carl goes, he's a north-south guy, not real flashy. All he does is get positive yards.
Today I had a good day, and if I keep on having days like this, I hope the coaches can make the right decision and get me in there.
We're deep back there. We got a lot of guys that, we got about 6 guys that can all carry the ball. They're all really good backs, so I think it's making us better, just the competition.
Not enough chunk yardage plays today. That's another thing that stands out from today as opposed to last Friday. I thought we had more explosive plays. But again, there's some good things going on. The offensive line's doing a nice job protecting the passer. We're doing a nice job blocking up the run game. And so I think there's a lot of positives to build on, but it's still a work in progress.
We got one more week left, so we just got to finish strong and make sure we clean up everything we made mistakes on.
Hey, deep in the spring ball, what do you think about the plays? Do you think that you're going through and executing them well as an offense as a whole?
I think so. I believe both the play callers, Coach Erickson and BJ, are doing real good with the play calling and making it good enough for us to just be balanced on offense.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Great stuff. Now time to welcome in the guys from the Crimson Corner, Mike Grant and Rob Jackson. All right, an overview of this scrimmage. You never want to overreact on a spring scrimmage, but what are you guys' thoughts as you watch the action today?
It is spring, but still, I was pretty disappointed in the offense. I thought, as far as the whole spring has gone, the offense has rolled. They've been up and down the field fast. The tempo's been high. Today was just not that way. The quarterbacks they looked sloppy. Everything, as we saw in the highlights, I was not impressed with either Wilson nor Schultz today.
Wow. You feel the same way?
You got to give a lot of credit to that defense. And looking at last season, you had 8 guys start over the season at linebacker. Today, you had VJ Fehoko that had a sack. You had LT Filiaga with 2 pass breakups. Jared Norris, after that Utah State game, did you even see him out on the field? No. Well, today he had an interception. That linebacking core, when you consider that Jacoby Hale and Brian Blecken will be added to that group, that linebacking core is going to be hands down way better than it was last season. A bright shining star for that defensive side of the football.
Finally.
Much needed.
Well, as we break down more details, let's start with the positive. The running backs. I mean, as a group, they were great. And then this Carl the Truth Williams guy comes out of nowhere. Is he really pushing for the starting job this fall?
When I watch him play and watch him carry the ball, he never goes down on first contact. He is always running people over. I sit there and ask myself, how does this guy not get in games and play meaningful minutes or snaps or however you want to say it? I love the guy, and he is as serious as a heart attack. He wants that job. He wants it.
Another guy that's really fighting for that spot is Lucky Radley, and we've watched him in drills where it's 1 blocker going up against 2 defenders, and he'll find a way to get into the end zone untouched. And he just has that raw athleticism that you look for when you're looking for a running back to run out of the spread formation. You need a quick finesse back. Another guy, James Poole, throw him into the mix. Another guy, Kelvin York, the guy that played last season behind the Wolfman, John White IV. He's projected as the number 1, but he sat out a lot. But I want to give credit to the offensive line, because you look at it doesn't matter which running back you look at, each one averaged over 5 yards per carry today. When you consider last season, we didn't know who the offensive line was even going to be going into the first game, let alone fall camp. That's a tremendous improvement from last season as well.
Yeah, and I think Kelvin York, I can just picture him running off that left side, running off of C.J. Patasi, Patasi's going to be an NFL lineman one day. That's a pretty good combination for the Utes.
All right, now we have to talk about the pass game. Again, I don't want to overreact. It's just a scrimmage in spring. But are you guys seeing progress in the pass game? Is there any reason for concern about the way these quarterbacks are performing right now?
I think it's more of a confidence thing at this point. You see both Travis Wilson and Adam Scholes at this point staring down their receivers or locking down the receivers, and that's a tremendous advantage to the defense. When they already know who you're going to throw the ball to, they can get into those formations and then they can adjust to compensate for that. What they need to do is they just need to watch more film. And granted, this is a brand new offense. Dennis Erickson has this no-huddle, high-octane offense. There's no more of this 3-play, 4-minute drive where they, 3 and out and punt. I mean, we timed it today. They're averaging between 20 and 25 seconds per snap. They're up-tempo fast. The quarterback just need to get a little bit more familiar with the play style and then have confidence in the receivers to make plays. We didn't see a lot of throws downfield. We saw the one that was the drop, but other than that, we didn't see a lot of chances taken down the field.
But I am getting a little bit nervous, honestly, because like I said before, the whole spring, you've seen them take those explosive plays or shoot or go for those explosive plays. Today, they just didn't for some reason. I found myself when I was watching the scrimmage today, I knew where the quarterbacks were going. If I know where the quarterbacks are going, I know the defense knows where they're going. So they need. Yeah, it's spring ball, but at the same time, this is the time, and in fall camp, this is the time where you work on your technique, where you work on switching from your first to second to third progression, and really look for those other receivers and just get better.
It wasn't because the offensive line wasn't blocking enough. I mean, the offensive line was tremendous today. I mean, when you're averaging 5 yards a carry and the quarterback has all day to throw, he just wasn't making the correct reads. And as a quarterback coach, I'm sure Brian Johnson is frustrated and wanting his quarterbacks to progress farther along. We'll see on Saturday if there's any improvement. I think they're done installing the offense up until this point, and so we'll see a complete offense at the red and white game this upcoming Saturday.
Okay, you led right into my next question. Spring game on Saturday. Real quick from both of you, what do you want to see in that game?
I want to see the offense go crazy with long plays. I want to see Travis Wilson take command of the offense. I want to see him go down the field and score in in 3 plays. Maybe come out the first play, throw it deep, connect with the receiver, and score a touchdown. Get momentum. They need momentum plays, and that's what I want to see out of the offense.
I'd be happy to see another defensive showing like we saw today, because as we saw last season, Utah's defense struggled against mobile quarterbacks. They struggled against the pass. They struggled against the run. There was time and time again where the defense just couldn't make the plays necessary to keep Utah in the ball game. So if Utah comes away with another 4 interceptions, yeah, it'll be a disappointment for the quarterbacks. But I mean, Kalani Sitake and that defensive side of the football has its full gears rolling at this point.
I'm not as concerned about the defense only because you have like 6, 7 guys who are in the pit right now not actually playing. Your Trevor Riley's, Brian Bleck, and those guys. So. Yeah, I'd love to see those guys play, though, next week.
And that's a question for another day.
Yes, it is.
Can't wait for the spring game on Saturday. Well, if you watched the Crimson Corner last week, you know Kenneth Scott and Trez Anderson have a ton of fun on the football field, but they're just a small part of Team AFG.
It's Kenneth Scott and the fellow AFG members from KSL. Today we're going to introduce our AFG members. We got 6'6" himself, Trez Anderson. We got Meep, Delshawn McClellan right here. Yeah. We got Tango Towns. We call him Blue Flame. We have Brian Allen. We call him Bialo. We have 87 from Heaven.
Woo! Look at me.
And we have grade 8. Anthony Denham right here. And Kenneth Scott, two's up. Yeah, and AFG means like, it's like a brotherhood. We have our own, it's like a frat, it's our own, you know, eternal brothers. Yeah, we just all stick together, hang out together. And even though we're not blood, we're still close to each other and things like that.
Like blood.
We're almost
blood. I mean, like we get blood on the field together.
This is my stand right here. This is grade 8. 87. That's 6'6" over here.
Yeah. You go on YouTube, go into the search engine, you type in Utah U Football TV, and you'll get an exclusive look at what we're about. You know, why we're so tight as teammates and everything like that. It's bigger than football. It's family. Even when we go on spring breaks and stuff, we go to each other's houses and stuff like that.
It's not just football.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends outside of this. I mean, you could let it run. I mean, look at us. You got to put that on TV. Hey, flex on them. I mean, flex on the Batman. Hey, somebody give me some money dance real quick.
If they really want to see behind the scenes. I mean, if they really want to get behind the scenes, they want to see what Utah AFG is about, this is going to be the video. This is going to be the video to show them. Like, this is just how we are with each other. We're always laughing, always goofy, always together, on and off the field, doing work together. I mean, it's just us. Doing homework. And 2 words after that, ball game. We done.
I'm not afraid to say it. Kenneth Scott is the best reporter at KSL right now. No question about it. From one group of Utah wide receivers to probably the best in Utah history, Steve Smith was in town this week to give thanks to the University of Utah Young Alumni Foundation. Tom Kirkland caught up with Steve before the party and asked him about another former Ute and their relationship.
That's a cool bond, and you probably, when you went there, who knew when you were going to be together that long and both be outstanding.
It's been great. We've been Super Bowl teammates together in the Super Bowl, same huddle, and we've been at the Pro Bowl together. We've been at practices together, so it's been awesome. It's great. And there's no other guy that all my years playing in Utah and in Carolina that I love to be in the huddle with every day.
Who's tougher?
I would say Jordan.
Really? Because that's saying a lot.
What were we? Jordan, when he broke his ankle, he went down, and I was there, and I was like, hey. He says, hey, bud, I think I broke my ankle. I'm like, I looked, I said, no, it's good. He said, it hurts. I said, man, just a big sprain. He said, you think so? I said, yeah. They rolled him over, and that thing was like that. I said, oh, I lied to him. And that was the first thing when he got back. He said, you lied to me. I said, I couldn't tell you the truth. But, just going through that, it's pretty great.
Man, great story. Steve announced during the Young Alumni Association ceremony that he would donate $150,000. You can hear more from Steve on Sports Beat Saturday and Sports Beat Sunday. You do not want to miss that if you are a Utah fan. The Red Rocks advanced to nationals for the 38th consecutive year. They're the only team to do that, and even though this year they are not one of the favorites, the Red Rocks think that might just be where they need to be.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, there's still a little pressure because obviously it's nationals and all the teams are good. But I think it's a different type of pressure because regionals, you're trying to get to nationals. But once you're there, it's just kind of going to have fun and do what you can do.
I mean, 38 years in a row kind of shows like what kind of program we are and how dedicated we are. So I think it's great that we still continue doing as well as we have.
Knowing that we've got a really difficult session, I think that they know they've got some things stacked against them. And for some reason, this group seems to compete better in that circumstance. When maybe the expectations aren't quite as great, they relax a little bit and go, well, no one really thinks that we're going to move on to Super 6, and then they sometimes do their best under those circumstances.
We wish the Red Rocks the best of luck. Over the years, there have been a few parts of the Utah gymnastics program that have been constants, like great coaching with the Marsdens, great athletes from Missy Marlowe to Christina Basquet, and of course a teammate that you might not know about.
Rocky, what do you think, bud?
Say hi, Eva.
That's awesome.
It's mine and Greg's dog, Rocky Mountain Marsden, and we've always had a gym dog. So since 1982, there's been a Labrador in our gym, and there's been 4 over the years. And this is the most recent one. He's about 15 months old, so he's young and high energy at this point.
Well, Rocky's a little different. He's our first male, and the females have all been very mellow, and they would just lay here and kind of watch practice. And Rocky, we actually, when we start practice, have to put him back in a kennel because he just will not, settle down.
It is fun unless you're doing events and he's running underneath them. So yeah, it's fun though. It changes the mood. It's fun. It's fun having a little pet.
Remember, you can catch the Utecast once a week here on the Crimson Corner. Robert Jackson, Mike Grant, and the guys from InsideTheUtes.com discuss everything Utah sports.
End around, gets a block from Wilson.